This is episode number 100 of the Glow Life podcast. Yay! Welcome to the Glow Life podcast, the one and only place for ambitious, high-achieving, and perfectionist women like you who want to leave overwhelm behind, turn self-doubt into self-confidence, and learn to trust yourself again, so that you can work less, fully love and accept yourself, and live a fulfilled and glowing life. Every week, I'll be giving you tips and inspiration on how to think less, feel more, slow down, and use your body and your daily habits to help you step up, level up, and glow up in all areas of your life. This is not just about the big shifts. You can glow just a little more every single day. Welcome back to the Glow Life podcast, and we are at episode 100. I cannot believe, I don't know how we got here. How did this even happen? Wow. It's time to celebrate. And there are two things that I want to share with you that are really great and a way for me to celebrate with you before we dive into the 3 reasons why perfectionists don't celebrate. You may know I am a recovering perfectionist, and celebration was not part of my daily life. So before we dive in, it's time to celebrate. And a way for me to celebrate this with you is that I was going over all the material that I have and all the courses I've created in the past, and I was finding something that I can give away to you for free. Yes, for free. I have an online course. It's a mini course. It's super simple. You can go through it on your own. You don't need to know anything upfront about the topics we're covering in the course. It's called Say Yes to Yourself. You can get your hands on this course for free using the code CELEBRATE100. That's CELEBRATE100. And the link is martinafink.com/self-love. And you can also find the link in the show notes. This online self-study course is for you if you want to find your self-worth, believe in yourself again, and love yourself unconditionally, just as you are right now. Not when you lose the weight, not when you have that job, not when you go travel, right now. So after this course, you will love your body and stop worrying about the number on your scale. You will truly understand what self-love really is. No, it's not just face masks and bubble baths. It's so much more. You will know how to prioritize yourself and how to feel light and free after letting go of negativities and past stories and things that are going on in your mind all the time. You will be able to look in the mirror and be happy with what you see. This course consists of 4 lessons on self-love. To get really clear on what it is and how it impacts you, you get an extensive workbook with lots of journaling questions. If you know me, I am obsessed with journaling and with getting clarity and just having that conversation with yourself. It's really going to help you. There is also life-transforming exercises to reprogram your mind, and there are meditations in there. There's a morning ritual audio in there and a daily practice worksheet and so much more. The topics we're going to cover in this course are literally going to change the way you look at yourself. You will get this course 100% off, and you only pay $0. So the investment is normally $37. You can get it for free when you use the code CELEBRATE100. And once you've gone through the course, I would love to hear your feedback and how it has changed you and the revelations that you've had. So please feel free to send me a DM on Instagram and let me know how you enjoyed this little gift for you. The second thing that I want to share with you is that I am giving away 5 gifts to 5 lucky winners who are giving me and my podcast a review on iTunes. I would love to know how you enjoy the show, and this will help other people find the show as well if they can read the reviews. If you leave me a review on iTunes, and you can find the link in the show notes, send me a DM with a screenshot of your review, because iTunes sometimes comes up with weird and unrecognizable names. So make sure you send me a DM with the screenshot of your review, and then I will pick 5 winners on February 10th that will receive a gift worth over $50. Leave me a review on iTunes, send me a DM with a screenshot, and enter to win one of my glow gifts. I appreciate you being here every week, listening to all my episodes all the time. This means so much to me, and I'm so grateful that you are here and that I have the possibility to share my wisdom and my knowledge with you. So thank you for that. And before we get started with today's episodes and the 3 reasons why perfectionists don't celebrate, I want to share my top glow tip of the week with you. And guess what it is? It is to celebrate. What can you celebrate today? What went well today or this week or last week? What are you proud of? What is one little thing that you can celebrate? It doesn't have to be anything crazy. You don't need to spend hundreds of dollars for your celebration. It can be something really small but meaningful. It's about the intention that you have and the time that you take to celebrate and to take a moment to pause and be really proud of yourself. So this week, celebrate yourself in whatever way. If you want to post in your stories, tag me, send me a DM, let me know what you are doing to celebrate. I would love to hear from you. Now, let's dive into the 3 reasons why perfectionists don't celebrate. I have a lot of perfectionist clients, and this is a pattern that I've noticed when I ask them, how are you going to celebrate this? They usually say, I don't know. Why should I celebrate this? This is not worth celebration. The reason why I'm sharing this with you today is because I used to be a perfectionist and still am sometimes, and it was always really hard for me to celebrate. I didn't even know that it would be good for me to celebrate. So let's talk about why I became a perfectionist in the first place. And that's just my take on it from a logical standpoint. There may be spiritual reasons why I'm a perfectionist and why I chose to be on this path and learn all these lessons, but this is just how I see my journey objectively when I look back. So I've always been someone that loved doing things right. I was having a really tough time at school with other kids. I was bullied. Even though I was good at school, I just felt like I wasn't good enough to be liked. I wasn't good enough or beautiful enough or cool enough to be part of the cool kids. So that led me to the point where I started doing everything perfectly to see if that would help. Obviously, that didn't help, but I was trying to always be on time. I was trying to be friendly all the time. I was trying to wear cool clothing and always trying to do everything perfectly so that people wouldn't have reasons to say, no, you're not part of our tribe, or you're not part of the cool kids, or we don't like you, or we don't talk to you. All of this hasn't helped, obviously. It was not helpful because it was not really about me. How people treat you is always a reflection of them and not you. Obviously, I was a shy, very polite, nice kind of people pleaser girl. So I was definitely an easy target for bullying, but the fact that certain people behaved that way didn't say anything about me and everything about them. Anyway, this is how I became perfectionist, how I was trying to make everything right so that people would have reasons to like me. That turned me into a perfectionist at work. where I could spend hours in front of the computer trying to create something, trying to write the perfect email, making sure there are no typos, making sure there are no missing commas. I can spend so much time obsessing over little details that procrastination used to be my best friend. And disclaimer, it still is sometimes. Anyway, perfectionist in relationships is something that I've been trying to make sure I do everything quote unquote right, making sure I please everyone, making sure I don't make any mistakes, making sure I'm always polite and perfect, etc., etc. I was also and still am very perfectionist at home, making everything look clean and organized and pretty and in order and like not leaving any room for a mess in my entire life, basically. That has made it really difficult to pause and be present and celebrate because I was so obsessed over all the little details of the nitty-gritty stuff, and everything had to be and look and feel amazing and perfect that I didn't take moments to actually sit down and look at all the great things that I have done and achieved and created. So celebration was quite a new concept for me a couple of years ago. When you are a perfectionist, you have all the reasons why you don't celebrate yourself. Number one reason, you don't have time. Why would you take the time to celebrate when there is this entire to-do list ahead of you? All of these projects, all of these next goals, all of these new things, all of these challenges that you need to take on and you need to work on. Why should you take a break and celebrate, right? So the number one excuse why perfectionists don't celebrate is that they don't have time. They simply don't have time. Number two, they don't think that they're worthy of celebration or even celebrating themselves. Why? Because other people are more important. Perfectionists have a tendency for people pleasing. And that means that we always like to make sure everyone is all right, everyone is doing great, everyone is feeling happy, and we put ourselves last. So celebrating other people, yes, 100%, always there for the party. Celebrating ourselves, no, we don't need that. I don't need to celebrate myself. I have other things to do. So we don't think that we're worthy of celebration, but it's not true. Everyone is worthy of celebration. And celebrating how far you've come and the things you've achieved is such an important piece of living a glowing life. And the third reason why perfectionists often don't celebrate is because they tell themselves that it could have been better anyway. It's still not good enough. It's just 99.9% of what I wanted. Truth is that there is no such thing as perfection, and we still thrive to achieve perfection when really it's almost impossible to get there. So being able to celebrate what you have now and the good things that you have achieved is even more important. Otherwise, you're always going to feel that you're not enough, that you're not good enough, that your work is not good enough. And it's not going to get you to a place where you can fully be present with yourself and love your life. When I achieve X, then I will be happy. When I achieve Y, then I will be ready to celebrate. No, time to celebrate is now. You don't need to wait another week to celebrate something. You don't need to wait for another paycheck to celebrate something. You don't need to wait for another super incredible success to celebrate something. Time to celebrate is now, my dear. So, celebration doesn't mean that you need to throw a party for 20 people with bottles of champagne and sushi at all. It can be something simple as taking some time and speaking nicely to yourself. It can be simple as making yourself a juice and just sit down and write down all the things that you've done really well. You don't need a raise at work, although that's definitely worth celebrating. It can even be finishing a project, launching a website, 5 years of friendship, a week that you've been feeling really great about, speaking nicely to yourself, or making your bed in the morning if that's something you don't normally do. Celebrate the little things. And here's why celebration works and why it's so important. When you celebrate, you focus on how far you've come. Instead of focusing on the path that is still ahead of you, you can look back and be really proud of what you have achieved already. All the milestones, all the big things, all the great achievements are still there and worth celebrating. Instead of focusing on what you don't have yet and what you haven't achieved yet, you are actually looking at the good things. You are looking at the things that are working out. You are looking at the things that are good and great in your life right now. And it's a great way to really celebrate yourself and be proud of yourself and of how far you've come, because everyone in the entire world can be proud of you. Unless you are proud of yourself, it's not going to be the same feeling. Being proud of yourself is such a great feeling, and it's something that only you can do for you. It doesn't matter what others think, although it's helpful when others are proud of you, of course, but it's not worth much unless you are proud of yourself too. So remember that celebration is important, and please do let me know how you are celebrating this week. I would love to see pictures of what you do for yourself. And again, this doesn't need to cost you hundreds of dollars. It can be as little as buying yourself flowers for $10 or even one rose for probably less than $5. I am so grateful for you, and I hope that this inspired you to celebrate yourself and to be a little more loving and gentle and positive with yourself and not put that much pressure on you for being perfect all the time. If you loved this episode, please subscribe and leave me a review. Remember that you can win when you send me the screenshot of your review by February 10th. For everything I mentioned in today's episode, you can go check out the show notes at martinafink.com/podcast/100. I would love to connect with you on social media. You can find me at Martina Glows on Facebook and on Instagram. And if there is anyone perfectionist in your life that you think could benefit from today's episode, please send it to them right now. Thank you so much for being here today and for listening to my stories. Please don't forget to download your free course, Say Yes to Yourself. I really hope that this inspires you to live an even more glowing life. You deserve to feel healthy, confident, empowered, and beautiful.